Okay, so tonight we're going to do a little review on intercepts and slope-intercept form. A lot of the math that we're going to do next week assumes that you understand linear functions and how to graph them. And I find every year I need to review that just a little bit. Okay, so put the date at the top. You can just title this, we can title this X and Y intercepts if you like. And intercepts are just that. It's where they cross the axis. I should pay the point and where they cross the axis. I'm going to add in the point. Okay, so if I look over here, this is the y-axis, and here's the point where it's crossing the y-axis. So that is going to be over 0 and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can say the y-intercept is 5. Okay, right, Owl? Okay, and then the x-intercept is here, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's over 6 and up 0. So we can say the y-intercept equals 6. But the coordinate is 6, 0, okay? So if you think about this, here's my x and here's my y. The y-intercept has to have a number, or excuse me, the x-intercept has to have a number in the x position because we're telling it what place it crosses the x-axis. The y should be always 0, okay? Because if y isn't 0, it's not on this x-axis. It's up here or down here, right? And then the same thing goes with the y-intercept. With the y-intercept, the y always has to have a number because it's telling you the place it is along this axis. X always has to be 0 because if x isn't 0, again, it's not on the axis. So kind of a good rule of thumb for intercepts is to remembering if I want the y-intercept, the x has to be 0 because the y must be the number it's crossing at. And if I want the x-intercept, the y must be 0 because I want to know what place on the x that the y is crossing at. Okay? X and Y intercepts. All right, let's look at this next page. Hello. All right, so this right here, and we've talked about this before, this is called standard form. Okay, so if you find equation in standard form, you know it's a linear function. Okay, and in standard form, it's ax plus by equals c. So you can see here that 9 is in the a place, 5 is in the b place, and 0 is in the c spot. Okay, now one rule is this a value must be a positive. And we don't, if it's in standard form, we don't leave them in fractions or decimals. We have to make them all whole numbers. So it needs to be a positive whole number. Otherwise, it's not in standard form. Now the b can just be an integer, which means it can be a positive, which means it can be a positive, stop that. Try one more time, a positive or a negative whole number. And then this c here is a constant, and hopefully you remember from yesterday that constants are a number without a variable. Okay, so this here is in standard form. So once I know that, I know it's linear. So we have to be able to figure out the intercepts based on the standard form. So I'm going to rewrite this. I have 9x plus 5y equals 0. And let's say I want to find the x-intercept. So if I want to find the place where the x is on the x-axis, I need to replace y with 0, okay? Because if it's on the axis, y must be 0. So I'm going to change this to 9x plus 5 times 0 equals 0. So replace y with 0, because my coordinate for the x-intercept has to be some number with y is 0, okay? So then obviously 9x, and that's plus 0, so I just get 9x equals 0, and then divide by 9, and I know my x is 0. So this actually crosses here, okay? Then I want to find my y-intercept, okay? So then I will replace the x with 0 because I want to know what number on the y it crosses, okay? And so this is obviously 0, and so this is 5y equals 0 divided by 5, and y is also 0. So this line has to only go through, I did a terrible job on that, the center here or the origin, right? Let's try doing this better. So this line's got to do something like this, yeah? Because the x and y intercept are both there. Okay, let's look at another example. Here, I have an equation, and again, I want to find the x and y intercept. So let's start with the x-intercept. If I want to know what the x-intercept is, y must be 0. So we'll do 8x plus 3 times 0 equals negative 3. So 3 times 0 is 0. So we'll have 8x equals negative 3 divided by 8. And this doesn't simplify and it doesn't divide easy, so we just leave it negative 3/8. So the x-intercept is negative 3/8. Then we can find the y-intercept by making x 0. So I'll do 8 and replace x with 0 plus 3y equals negative 3. So that's 0 plus 3y, so I'll get 3y equals negative 3, and then divide by 3, and y is negative 1. Okay, so my two intercepts are at 0, negative 1, which is right here, and then I have 0 and negative 3/8, which it's going to be somewhere really close in here. And then I can draw my line through there. And I'm not going to attempt to draw anymore because it just never quite works out right. So we'll just let the smart board do it. Okay, so those are my intercepts. Okay. One more type of example is this, and we should know that this is slope-intercept form, right? Slope-intercept form, okay? Y equals mx plus b. B is the y-intercept. M is the slope, which tells you how steep it is. I put shope. No, it's not shope. It is slope. Okay? So a lot of people get this a little bit mixed up. We have an x and a y, but this number right here is your y-intercept. We don't know what the x-intercept is. We'll have to find it. But I like these because starting off, I know if it looks like this, that 10 is my x-intercept. So my x-intercept is 0, or not, I'm saying x. I'm sorry, I'm confusing you. This is my y-intercept. So I know that it intercepts the y-axis at 10, which would be, I think, up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? So then all I have to find is the x-intercept. Okay? So to find the x-intercept, I replace y with 0. So here's my y. So I'm going to make that a 0, negative 2x plus 10. Subtract my 10 over. So I get negative 10 equals negative 2x. Divide by the negative 2. And I know that my x is intercepting at the 5. Okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then again, I have 2 points to make my line. So then I can just go ahead and draw it. So it goes right through here. Okay? So there's a couple ways to draw lines, but one would be just to find the 2 intercepts and then connect those points. And when it's in slope-intercept, I love that because the y-intercept is right there. So I only have to plug in once to find that x-intercept. Okay? We're going to be spending a little bit more time on this in class tomorrow, right, Owl? So I want you to do these next couple of problems and then you're done. So look at this equation and answer the question. Look at this equation and answer the question. Should I make it bigger? There we go. And look at this equation and answer the question. And then we will see you tomorrow. It's Friday. Yay!